How about don't forget to unmute myself? Wow! Yo! It's Saturday! Can you believe it? Hello, Kaskia! Excuse me, I just finished dinner. Hope you had a lovely week. Yeah, I had a pretty good week. Well, for the most part, anyway. I mean, it was my birthday on Thursday. How about I close all these things that I should probably close while I'm streaming? Yeah, it was my birthday on Thursday. We went out to a nice dinner place. Had nice dinner and drinks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Saw my doctor. Did all that stuff. And gosh dang it. Puppet string, please. Why are you like this? Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Okay, that seems better. I thought I had it sorted last time. But no. Seems as if puppet string is gonna give me a few more complications. Anyway. Last session, let's see. We gave Eustace, that's right. My head was just saying, don't say Sebastian, don't say Sebastian, don't say Sebastian. Couldn't even give me a moment to remember what his actual name was. We gave him, not therapy, but general life advice. And we helped him figure out a newer direction for himself. And he helped us kick his own father's ass. So that's cool. And then after that, Agent Long came in and said, hey, I think someone here is responsible for murdering my president. And now we gotta go back and follow that up. Because he's decided he wants to arrest Gavel for it. Oh yeah, and we also found Sean! We all know it was the real Taurosaurus. Back at the empty lot with all of the old characters and one new one.
Could you maybe calm down a little?
Calm down? No way, Jose. Not till y'all come clean. It's for your own good, dang it. Our intrepid reporters refuse to give up, even in the face of repeated stonewalling from the crew. Oh boy.
Look, you ladies need to stop harassing these people, or I'll have to ask you to...
You cops sure got a lot of nerve. Y'all are the ones who let Taurosaurus run wild. hoping to hide the fact that they bred this menace themselves. The staff cling desperately to their story. Hello? Look, we're really not breeding anything. This is a movie set. Says the gal who told me she done seen Gordy with her own dang eyes. Sure, I saw something, but that doesn't mean we're keeping monsters here.
All right, break it up.
Oh, it's long. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
And Sean.
Y'all are on the trail of this here monster infestation too, huh?
No.
Sorry.
No, we're on the trail of a criminal. Lonsis says, the darkness of a criminal's heart can sometimes be compared to a monster.
What does that mean?
That is to say... That is to say, a killer is no different from a monster, really. Bless you, thank you. Agent Lang, this is highly irregular, sir. We can't allow members of the public onto the crime scene. Oh, hydrate. I should make a hydrate redeem. Or something. These people are important witnesses. I need them to be here. Well, Agent Long, here we are. Where do you intend to begin? Let's start by summing up the facts.
Actually, it doesn't help that dinner was lasagna, so... I'm feeling a little bit... phlegmy. Well, not phlegmy, but like... the saliva has thickened.
President Wong's body was discovered here this morning. He hadn't been since... Oh, I messed that one up. He hadn't been seen since the night before last. Yes, he slipped off without his bodyguards noticing, if I remember correctly. So he was missing for over a day.
Just moving my mic a little bit closer to me.
And the last person to see him alive was you, Judge Gavelle, on the roof of the big building.
Sean, you know something. She knows that he knows something.
Wait, oh no, she was there. I'm an idiot. Why did the two of you arrange to meet?
I'm sorry, but I can't say.
Not even to defend yourself from an accusation of murder.
Why? Why can't you just tell us? Please, Judge Gavelle, we're trying to help you.
Huh. She can't say because she'll only incriminate herself more.
I'm not sure that that's entirely the case.
I know you had something to do with the president's murder, and I'm going to prove it.
Objection!
You said yourself that the body was only found this morning. How do you explain the time that passed between Judge Gavelle's meeting with the president and then? That's exactly what I'm hoping we're about to find out. I'm particularly interested in what happened last night. So, why don't you tell us exactly how it all went down? Sean Fenn?
Me? We know you were here on the set last night.
You were, Sean?
We have testimony from the woman over there, and forensic evidence from the footprints that proves it.
You came back to run your lines, right? What? You were spying on me? I'm sorry. I was just making sure you were okay. It was late. I was worried about you. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't need you to worry about me.
Ooh!
Sean! That is no way to talk to an adult. She was trying to look out for you. Apologize this instant.
Sorry.
I've told you before, I won't have you speaking to people that way. Wow, this is a whole new Judge Gavel.
It seems she's just as strict with her son as she is with those who break the law.
Are you listening to me? If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. You must... Blah, 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 blah.
One eternity later.
And I want you to remember that, all right?
Can we get on with the investigation now?
Oh, of course. Forgive me.
I don't think I've ever seen her so passionate about anything. I guess Judge Gavel, the mother, will take a little getting used to. Are we to understand that you are accusing Sean of being involved somehow, Agent Long? I just want the truth. I need to know why the president was killed. And by who. And I don't care what it takes. I'm going to find out. I guess it makes sense for him to be so determined. The president was practically family to him. All right. Sean, perhaps you could tell us about what happened last night?
Fine by me. I've got nothing to hide. We're getting straight into it. About last night. I had a bad day yesterday. Messed up a couple takes. We were scheduled to shoot the same scene again today. So I thought I'd put in some extra practice. And that's what I did. It's that simple. It's not like I haven't done it before. It was fine. Nothing happened. You've been rehearsing late at night again? But when I called you yesterday evening, Sean, you said you were at the hotel.
You called him? Around what time?
It must have been 11 p.m. or thereabouts. It's one of our rules. When Sean stays away from home, we have to speak every night. Yeah, well, I wasn't at the hotel. I was here on set.
So you lied to me!
Sorry. Ooh, now she's mad.
Gosh. This thing in my chest does not want to move. There we go.
I think it's kind of amazing how hard he wants to work on his acting, though.
There we go.
I fixed me.
Nonetheless, a parent can't help but worry. Her child alone late at night. Anything could happen to him.
Anything almost did.
Oh, and indeed it did. He got himself entangled in this case.
But he said nothing happened, right?
He did. Although I can't help but wonder if he was telling the truth.
One of the dogs outside's going off again.
Hold it!
A bad day? Could you elaborate a little?
What, I have to spell it out for you? It was just bad, okay? Huh. What do you think? Did he drink too much milk, maybe? How did you... I mean, no. Nothing like that.
Oh no! He's lactose intolerant! So it might be more accurate to say that his stomach had a bad day.
Huh. And I thought milk was supposed to be good for your digestion. Shut up! We're done talking about that. The point is... I messed up those takes. Sorry, I got really distracted just then because I started hearing like different instruments in the background music, but I'm almost certain this isn't any different from the usual track.
Hold it!
So you wanted to rehearse your lines in preparation for the reshoots?
Yeah, I caused enough trouble for everybody messing things up the first time round. I wasn't about to do that again. I'm a pro.
One can only admire his dedication and his sense of responsibility to his co-workers.
Sean takes his work so seriously. He's a real inspiration to everybody. Even the takes he said he messed up, it wasn't like there was actually a problem. He just wanted to make them as good as they could be. He always says that even a tiny bit better is... Shut up! Why do you always have to say stuff people don't need to hear? Sorry, Sean.
He could maybe work on his people skills a little more.
Huh. Anyway, as I was saying... You put in some extra practice. That's simple.
Sean, about what you just said. How many times have I made you promise? If you're going to rehearse on your own, you have to tell me.
I know!
Well, that little outburst rather stole my thunder. Let me ask again, about what you just said.
I think it's pretty cool though, Sean.
More interruptions?
It's all the hours of practice that make you the best you can be. Little by little by little. I'm the same. I went from small-time thief to average thief. And before I knew it, greatness beckoned. But now that I finally made it, I'm not about to stop doing my best. And neither should you.
Ahem. May I continue? Now, Sean, do you often rehearse alone? Finally, I got my question out without being interrupted.
It's fine. It was fine. Nothing happened.
Hold it!
Sure it didn't.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? What do you mean? Of course I'm sure. It was just a regular evening. Nothing out of the ordinary. Huh? A regular evening? How can you say that? Somebody was...
Okay. He's just a child. You mustn't be too hard on him.
But Edgeworth, I'm a child.
Nothing happened. Really?
Nothing to do with the case, anyway. At least, that's what it sounds like he wants us to believe. But wait, don't we have some evidence related to what happened last night?
We do. And we also don't have time to be humoring the lies of a child. Let's use what we have to point out the contradiction in his testimony.
I believe I have an end idea.
Let's see. I'm almost. Why do we still? Oh wait, no, I know why.
Objection!
I remember why. Nothing happened. I'm sorry, but you're lying. This proves it beyond a doubt.
Wait, that's... How did you...
That's right, your rehearsal tape.
Gah!
What? You have video footage from last night? We do. And if you watch it, you'll see that it was no ordinary evening.
Excuse me.
There's a footprint there already. There is. And I'm not sure that's an everyday sight, even on a film set.
Sean, why would you keep this from me? No reason.
Knuckle back!
Liar. That stuff might work on your mommy, kid, but it's not gonna work on me. Why did you hide the tape?
I should probably set my notification box to don't disturb me, please.
Sean! You have to tell us. You?
You!
I couldn't help myself.
Look, I just didn't want anybody to see me rehearsing, okay? I don't like it. Ooh, this is a new track. Wait, is this the Torosaurus theme? So the boys got performance anxiety. What's the problem?
So you were embarrassed, is that it?
Yeah? What's so weird about that?
Knuckle back!
That's why you didn't hand over vital evidence?
Sean, how could you? Ah! Give me a break. You know about it now, don't you? Sure, the footprint was there, but I just ran my lines and went home. That was it. What? What, nothing about the giant monster footprint struck you as weird? No. It's a giant monster footprint. On the set of a giant monster movie. It's not like there isn't all kinds of other weird stuff around here. He's got you there, huh, Lotta? I don't buy it for a second. Chief, there's something hinky about this kid. Sure as I'm standing right here. Thanks. Thanks, Skippy, there he is.
Fucking damn it.
He's hiding a scoop under them there horns, or my name ain't Lotta Hart.
Of ice cream?
Shut up, both of you. I'm done talking.
Objection!
No, you're not.
What?
The footprint isn't the only strange thing about last night. What other unusual occurrence happened yesterday evening?
Someone broke in.
Take that!
Oh, no. This piece of evidence points to something else strange that happened yesterday evening.
Oh no, it's the dent in the wall. Yeah, that one. It does? What?
You don't see it? No surprises there, I guess. You're still only a child.
Says the guy who clearly thinks like one. Get that junk out of my face.
Oh, I must have messed up somehow.
We need to think back over everything that happened yesterday one more time. But for me this happened a week ago. Or at least 2 even.
We do. I'm not about to let that boy mock me again.
Seriously? Seriously, I think you have more important things to be getting upset about right now, don't you? Come on, what happened last night again? We have to think. What happened last night? Wait, is it the Taurus horse head?
Take that!
Oh, it was.
The model of Taurosaurus's head fell from the roof of that trailer last night. Did you expect us to believe that you knew nothing about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that so?
I told you. I ran my lines, I went home. That was it. What do I know about some stupid falling head? Or are you saying you can prove I know something?
Sadly not. It's entirely possible that the head fell after Sean left.
No proof, huh? Then this conversation is over.
Something tells me he doesn't want to talk about last night any more than is absolutely necessary. What is he hiding?
Knuckle back!
Hold it right there. What is it, Agent Lung? So it's just as I thought. Thanks, Mr. Prosecutor. I can arrest this child now. This footage of yours backs up my theory nicely.
What? There was something else on that tape?
Yep. Look closely. See the costume up in the top left?
Oh yeah, the Taurosaurus suit. It's zipped open.
Wait. Something's different. Do you see it?
Is it or is it? I can't tell if it's zipped or if it's unzipped or if it's been torn open. I'm not sure. He's just kinda hanging out and looking a little saggy. Oh, and the zipper on his back's done up tight.
The zipper. Okay, so it was a zipper. Huh. That's... Huh. Yeah. I guess you all see it now, right? On the tape, the zipper is wide open.
Your zipper is wide open. Did you think of that?
Why? Because somebody's inside the suit. That's why.
What?
Mr. Powers, that zipper. What can you tell us about it? Well, we always close it up tight when the suit isn't in use.
Ooh.
That's right, Mr. Prosecutor. And you remember something else I said not so long ago?
No.
Let me refresh your memory.
Thanks.
What if your friend Gavel pushed the president off the big building the night before last, and then came down here to the movie set to hid the body somewhere? That would have been... Oops, sorry. I'm just thinking about this sentence. They could have written it as, then came down here to the movie set to hide the body somewhere, and that would have felt... I feel like that feels a bit smoother than going, and then, and. Here, but where? There's all kinds of stuff down here, costumes, equipment. You could hide it anywhere. And then come back a day later, last night in other words, and take it out again.
And then.
You're saying the body could have been hidden inside the Taurosaurus suit? That's exactly what I'm saying. Isn't that right, Gavel? You pushed the president off the roof just like I said. Then you hid his body inside that costume. I most certainly did not.
Not so fast.
Protest all you like. I'm not gonna believe you. You're the only person who could have done this.
Objection.
I thought we already proved that would have been impossible. The movie set was locked at the time. There's no way Judge Cavell would have been able to get in here.
Not so fast.
What if she had an accomplice? What? I've got a little theory for you. I think you're gonna like it. Mother and child murderers? Oyakodon hitogoroshi? What if Sean was waiting down here when Cavell pushed the president off of the roof? If the two of them were working together, the problem of the lock goes away. Except it was cut open. And Sean knows the password for the doors. They then worked to hide the body together too, by dragging it over to the Torosaurus suit and stuffing it inside. You think the murder was really that carefully planned?
To what end?
It was the assassination of a world leader. It could only have been carefully planned.
Are we sure about that?
Overruled.
To suggest that Sean could have been involved in this it's unthinkable.
Not so fast.
You're my prime suspect. You're my prime suspect. What makes you think I'm gonna listen to a word you say? But what about motive? What reason would either of them have to kill President Wang? Who knows? But we'll find out soon enough. She was the last one to meet with him, and she won't tell us why. Pretty darn suspicious. Even you have to agree with that. Judge Cavell, I don't suppose I could convince you to share any more details?
My apologies, but that is the one thing I cannot do. However, rest assured, should that ever change, you will be the first to know. So please, you...
Have to believe me? Yeah, murderers have a habit of saying that.
Also non-murderers.
What about you, kid? Any weak excuses to offer? If so, now's the time to get 'em off your chest.
Heh, I got nothing to say to you. I'm innocent. I exercise my right to remain silent.
Both as tight-lipped as each other, huh? But, let me guess, you're still gonna try and stick up for them? It's true. Judge Cavell's actions certainly make her seem suspicious. But nothing she has told us amounts to a motive for murder, or even the suggestion of one. No, and like I said, I'm leaving motive aside for now. For the moment, I'm focusing on means and opportunity. And for my money, these two had to be working together for their little plot to succeed.
What if Sean was waiting down here when Cavell pushed the president off the roof? If the two of them were working together, the problem of the lock goes away.
Hold it.
Goes away how, exactly? I thought you might try this. But you and I both know exactly how. Let me make it nice and simple for you. First, she pushes the president off of the roof.
Pushes? Okay.
Then the kid opens the combination lock because he knows the code.
Yep. Kid opens code, knows the lock. Gotcha.
No, Kay, the other way around. Wait, what did she say? Oh, I didn't even catch that. And that's it. It's that simple. No more lock to worry about. You dare talk about my old son like this? And no more objections about her not being able to get in because she didn't know the code. That would explain away the problem of the lock, it is true. Thank you for your clear and incisive explanation. Incisive explanation, Agent Lang. Please continue. I will. And hopefully this next part will shut you up for good.
Objection!
Damn it!
I'm sorry, Agent Lang, but there's a clear contradiction in what you're saying. Langtse says, doubt first the man who makes a statement without proof. Huh, but I don't think I'm even gonna go as far as to doubt what you just said. I'll just ignore it. Because it was clearly a total bluff.
I thought we would have pointed out the fact that the side gate was opened. You can't bluster your way past Agent Lang, Mr. Edgeworth.
You're right. I'll need to confront him head on if I'm going to get anywhere here.
Hold it!
The video footage doesn't show the inside of the suit. You can't say for certain that there was a body in here at the time, can you? Maybe not, but we can take a look right now. Let's open it up and see what's inside. I'd put money on us finding proof that it was there. Do you mind if we examine the suit, Mr. Powers? Oh, not at all. Might be a little right, though. It gets pretty sweaty in there. Huh, it's filthy. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, that's weird. I always clean it up pretty good. If you don't, it can get kind of moldy.
Not so fast!
In other words, what we're looking at is proof that somebody other than you used the costume. That dirt in there must have come from the body.
I guess the president was lying right in the middle of that footprint. He probably would have gotten pretty dirty. He was pretty dirty.
Exactly. Well, everybody happy? Wait a minute.
He's not pretty dirty. Oh my god.
Objection!
Somebody else was in the suit.
So, our assumption is that the inside of the suit is dirty because the dirt came from the body. Would it be safe to say that's the case? Why? Is there a problem? The part of the suit directly in front of the opening is particularly dirty.
Yeah, it really is.
But look at the victim. The area of his body that would have been in contact with that part of the suit isn't dirty at all. If the victim had been crammed in there, as you suggest, his chest would surely be covered in dirt,
And not flecks of gold.
Ah! Fine. So, what's your explanation? How did all that dirt get inside there? Based on the videotape, there may well have been somebody in the suit at the time. So who was it, if it wasn't the president?
Come on, Kay, think. Where was it?
Is something the matter, Kay?
I've seen dirt like that somewhere else. I'm sure of it. I just can't think where. Dirt with weird little gray bits in it.
Oh, it's not glass. Grey bits.
It's concrete!
She's right, there is something mixed in there.
It was stuck to something else we looked at. Lots of it.
Stuck to something we looked at. An item of evidence, maybe. It's probably worth checking. Does one of the items we found have a similar kind of dirt stuck to it? Ah! Mr.
Take that!
What's his face's gloves? As Kay pointed out, the dirt in the suit contained small flecks of something grey. Uh-huh, and? We discovered similar flecks stuck to an item belonging to somebody we recently had dealings with. The item in question being these gloves. Oh, you're right. That dirt does look similar. But so what? What are you saying this stuff is? What exactly are these grey flecks of yours?
What, do you want us to call Emma?
I believe the grey flecks are concrete. Surely they're Surely they're flecks of concrete.
Oh, like all the little broken up bits around the footprints, you mean?
Exactly. And who did the gloves on which we found similar dirt and flecks belong to?
Chairman Winner. We found them in his garage.
That's right. We visited the garage at his home earlier today. And we found a pair of mechanic's gloves covered in dirt. We also found Eustace tied up in the back there, but that's neither here nor there. And if I recall correctly, a sledgehammer and a shovel too. Why would a pair of mechanic's gloves be covered in dirt? I'll tell you why. Because somebody wore them while they used that hammer and shovel.
He was dual wielding?
They smashed through the concrete to the dirt below, staining the gloves with both substances.
Wait, so you're saying...
Yes, that we finally know what these footprints really are. It seems highly likely that they were dug by Chairman Winner.
Knock him back!
Ooh, I bet we'll find some evidence in one of these holes that he hid.
Highly likely? Huh! If that's so, then tell me this. Why the heck did he make them? What purpose could they possibly serve? Why indeed? I imagine he must have been...
Is that... Ooh. He was he burying something or digging something up? Ooh. I just need to double check something. Oh, that's not it. What was I thinking about? He had to be digging something up.
Yeah, because if he was trying to bury something, he would have tried burying the president's body. Well, I think he must have been digging something up. I imagine events unfolded somewhat like this. There was something on this lot that he needed to unearth. In order to do so, he cut the chain on the side entrance and gained access from there.
I'm still thinking about the fact that we couldn't point out the fact that the side gate was broken into to long earlier.
He then used the sledgehammer and shovel to dig the 3 footprints. When he found what he was looking for, he bagged it up and filled in all the holes.
Ah, but then Sean must have showed up, right?
I think he did, yes. Chairman Winner would have had to find a hiding place, and the Torosaurus suit provided just that. Ah! You got all that from a pair of dirty gloves?
A pair of dirty gloves that are owned by Chairman Winner. Yes.
It's good, but it's all just speculation. We don't have any proof that he was inside that suit. He could have dug those holes and gotten out of there before the kid even showed up. Out of here, I mean.
Objection!
But he didn't. And there's proof of that right there in the footage. It shows that Chairman Winner was still present when this recording was made. What? It's a shame that Agent Long didn't notice it himself. But if we compare the situation as we see it now to the situation as it appears on Sean's rehearsal tape,
Oh, the baggie.
and compare that in turn to what we saw in Chairman Winner's garage,
Right! He had bags of concrete in his garage! Yeah, there it is.
it soon becomes clear that the chairman was present.
The bag.
Take that!
Take that.
Look at the bag next to the Torosaurus suit. We saw the same bag in Chairman Winner's garage. The same bag, the dirt on the gloves. That has to indicate a connection, surely. I think that pretty much seals it. It was Excelsius Winner in that suit. And if he was in there, the president's body can't have been. Hiya! Good. It seems I've convinced Agent Lung of the flaws in his theory. Somebody get to Chairman Winner's house right away! We need to know what's in that bag.
Oh, yes, sir.
Y'all done lost your minds? I can't believe what I'm hearing here. What is this hog swill?
Oh, this is all we need.
Them right there's Torosaurus footprints, dang it! Ain't no holes dug by no old guy.
I think I've demonstrated more than adequately that that's exactly what they are.
Ah, don't matter to me none what you just done did. I don't believe it, and that's that. I done told y'all I seen that big bad bull with my own 2 eyes, which is to say I saw him.
The giant eye peering in at the window. I thought we'd gotten past that nonsense.
We ain't about to let that go. What kind of journalist would we be if we did, huh?
Responsible ones, but I guess that's the whole problem.
Wait, ain't like it was just about the footprints, no how. You were seen fraternizing with one of them there monsters, ain't that correct, young man? By the young lady over there, if I'm not very much mistaken.
Oh, we're never going to get anywhere with these two around.
Maybe if we could prove to them that wasn't a monster either, they might finally drop it. What do you think, Miss Stretchworth? Any bright ideas?
Tell them there's a third monster on the run? Down the street? Prove that it wasn't a monster. Fine, I don't suppose there's much else for it. Let's see what we can do.
And hope to God they don't move the goalposts again. What are you two whispering about? Y'all are hiding something, ain't ya? Admit it. Quick, Tabby, roll the tape.
Hold it!
Could I politely ask that you both calm down? The monster the boy was seen talking to. We know what it was now.
Huh? Huh?
That's right. Sean's rehearsal tape finally cleared up that particular mystery.
It did? Did those two just switch places?
The point at which Miss Nichols thought she saw Sean with Gordy. That would have been right when he was making his rehearsal tape. I think she mistook a certain object for the legendary creature of the lake. Your so-called monster is right here in this picture.
Huh? I don't see no Gordy. That ain't nothing but a dumb snapshot. You're talking to a pro here. You can't fool me with no trick photography.
What was Miss Nichols' Gordy really?
It was this.
Take that!
A camera on a thingy.
That's right, it was a camera crane.
Yeah.
That is what Miss Nichols saw, not Gordy.
Ooh, what?
Sean's rehearsal tape was shot from a noticeably elevated viewpoint. A viewpoint that would only have been possible if the camera in question was attached to a crane.
Bull! How the heck would she make a mistake like that, huh?
Actually, just before I went live earlier, I was almost sucked in because Mum was telling me about the movie she was watching earlier. It was called Craven the Hunter, I guess. And I was like, oh yeah, are there any big actors in this? And she's like, Russell Crowe. And I was like, oh, okay.
Objection!
How indeed, Miss Nichols.
Yes?
Also, there was a very minor character who introduced himself as, they call me Mr. Foreigner because I'm not from around these parts. Which is really... Oh, God. Movies are funny sometimes. You told us that you think you might need new glasses, didn't you?
Yeah. My eyesight got way worse all of a sudden.
When I go on holiday, that's how I'll introduce myself. And I imagine that when you thought you saw Gordy, he was quite heavily shrouded in darkness.
That's right. I only really saw a silhouette. But you didn't told us! Skin like an enormous worm, you said. Yeah, that was the Alaskan bullworm, not Gordy. God, you weren't even paying attention, were you, Tabby? Y'all about to try to tell us your precious crane up and grew skin somehow?
Now that is a mental image that is not gonna go away anytime soon.
Ain't even no flesh on them there metal bones, let alone skin.
Please, stop, Lotta. You're entirely correct, of course. About the crane as it was in this particular picture, anyway. But it did have a skin of a sort last night. Oh, I just thought of something really stupid just then. I'm just gonna keep that one buttoned down.
I knew you were a scoop hater. But this is plumb crazy. You want Tabby and me to starve, is that it?
You can eat things that aren't ice cream, Lotta. It's okay. You can diversify your diet. That wasn't my intent at all. But I do think it's time I finally put them both out of their misery. Gordy's skin is right here in front of us. It wasn't skin at all, it was this. Tarp!
Take that!
Miss Nichols told us that it seemed likely to rain last night. That never happened in the end. But I think Sean may have covered the crane with rainproof sheeting nonetheless. And that, my intrepid young reporters, is what Miss Nichols mistook for Gordy's skin.
What? Yay! Oh, heck!
Well, Sean, am I mistaken?
You see everything, don't you? Gotta say, you're pretty amazing.
I'm sorry, Miss Hart, but Miss Nichols' monster was no such thing. It was simply a trick of the light.
And just like that, the dream dies. Again.
Yeah, may you find respite in the waking world.
Chief!
I was trying to remember that quote from Bloodborne.
Huh. I think that may have finally shut them up.
Oh my god. I hope nobody can hear that. There's a couple of taverns like a few streets away. And one of them I think has a live band playing there tonight.
I thought the kid was holding out on us. But it seems I could have maybe been a little wrong. Maybe. Record course.
Alright, we know what the so-called monster was now. Everybody happy?
Everybody except these two.
Okay, please. Agent Long! The President's autopsy report is out, sir! It is? Let me see it. Death was due to full-body contusions and bone breakages caused by extreme pressure from above.
Oh, he was crushed.
So we have our cause of death. He was crushed. Just as we thought. Test results still haven't come back from the yellow substance found on his chest. I hope it's not cake. But they did find gunshot residue on his right hand. He shot something. Or someone.
Gunshot residue? Guess he was a kid at heart, huh?
Gunshot residue, Kay. It's a substance left behind when a firearm is discharged. Its presence indicates that the prisoner may have used the gun.
Really? But we didn't find a gun anywhere, did we?
Indeed not. Which makes the residue something of a riddle. We'll need to read that report carefully. Well, Agent Long, that clears one thing up at least. The President didn't die from a fall, which means he wasn't pushed from the roof of the big building. He was crushed by the falling Torosaurus head just as we said he was.
Just as we said we was.
Guess I have to accept that now. Fine. You were right.
Amazing! So does that mean Judge Gavel's not a suspect anymore either?
Surely it must. Both the cause and time of death rule her out. She met with the President the night before last, but the autopsy report puts time of death at around 11 p.m. last night. And we know that the Torosaurus head fell around then too. We know that the Torosaurus fed. The facts all line up perfectly.
Phew, what a relief.
Not so fast!
I knew it. Sorry. It might be a little soon to celebrate. What? Sure, I think we can accept that the falling head must have been what killed the President.
Oh, now you're gonna tell us that Gavel pushed the head over? Is that what you're gonna say?
But that begs the question of what could have caused it to fall. Or who. We know it happened late last night. So we have to think about who was here at that time.
Overruled!
What are you getting at exactly?
You can't mean.
I'm afraid I do. You did it, didn't you? Sean!
I need you to like rub some brain cells together before you make an accusation like that. Sean, why are you sweating?
The kid's hiding something. He was right here last night, right where the body was found. He saw the footprints. And yet he wants us to believe he knows nothing about what happened. Okay, you have a point there. That's a big ask, surely.
Objection!
We haven't yet established if the footprints had anything to do with the murder. So even if he did see them, that doesn't mean he was involved.
Not so fast!
Maybe not, but his face tells me different. As does the fact that he's shaking like a leaf. It does seem like Agent Long might be onto something, but I don't think Sean's going to talk. Fine. Keep your mouth shut, kid. I have a better idea. Why don't we let your tape do the talking? What exactly are you planning, Agent Long? The police have some pretty sophisticated image analysis tools these days. No, the fuck they don't. That's a lie.
You would go to such extreme lengths to see my son convicted?
It's not ideal, but if the boy won't talk, we don't have any other way of getting to the truth. Detective Gumshoe, you have access to exactly such a device, do you not?
Sure do. Little V. Ah!
Good. Then that should make this nice and quick.
Mr. Edgeworth, might I request that it be you who carries out the analysis in question?
Why me?
I fear that Agent Long might be inclined to believe the worst.
Unfortunately, your fears may be correct. Image analysis isn't exactly my specialty, but all right.
Speciality?
Are there new clues to be discovered somewhere in the image data, I wonder?
Nothing there. But here. Ah! Bloody hell! Ah! What the? Dude! Fucking presidential jump scare?
Eureka!
Ugh.
What the?
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Let me see! Huh? Yeep!
What is it? What's the matter? Show me.
Mr. Edgeworth, the court asks that you share your findings.
Zoom in on the top right part of the image and look closely. There's a person there. It's the president!
Oh my! What? You're kidding, right?
Well, I'd say that's pretty decisive, wouldn't you? This doesn't look good for Sean at all.
Wait! This doesn't prove anything. I didn't know he was there.
I don't believe you. And the image does in fact prove something very important. That you and the president were here at the scene of the crime together. Admit it, kid. You murdered President Wong.
No, that's ridiculous. Why? Why would he? Sean, you didn't. You can't have. Can you? What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? It's hard to push back against footage like that.
Surely even you can't deny that this looks pretty bad for the kid, Mr. Prosecutor. called me Shirley again. He claimed he knew nothing about what happened. But the president's right there with him. Sean, what are you not telling us? We have to know.
He's right, Sean. Be honest now. It's the only way. The truth is, it was all my fault. Sean? What did you do? It was my fault that the Taurus horse head fell off the trailer.
Oh no.
What happened while I was rehearsing? I went up on the roof of the trailer to prep the kit I was using, and I turned on the heater while I was there. I must have left it burning when I came back down to run my lines. Oh, that's right, it was bent. Then my mom called and I left the set to go talk to her. When I came back after the call, the Taurosaurus head had fallen from the roof and the president was just there, lying next to it. No!
We did find evidence of a fire having broken out on the roof. Or broken out up on the roof. The fire had a big breakup.
It was just a tiny one, so I put it out myself. So, we're saying the president died because of Sean?
If he did, that would make this whole thing just an accident. What did you do with the head after you found it on the ground?
I took it apart, carried the pieces up to the roof, and put it back together again.
Oh yeah, they did say it was, modular. Kind of. You're saying you put out the fire and moved the head back to where it fell from? In other words, you tried to cover your tracks. You're a real piece of work, kid.
It's not like I did any of this on purpose. I really did just forget to turn the heater off.
Yes, and when the fire had burnt through the legs, the table would have collapsed, and the head would have fallen down onto the ground below.
Oh, would have fallen down onto the ground below. You're right. The fire caused the head to fall.
Indeed. And I also happen to have an idea about how the fire may have started. Those cans of paint thinner by the heater are pretty flammable. Not a great place to keep them. And you swear it was an accident. Seems a little convenient. What was the president even doing here in the first place?
How the heck am I supposed to know? I didn't see anybody, I swear.
I still don't believe you. Why would President Wang come to a place like this in the middle of the night?
I have an idea.
His reasons for coming here are something of a mystery, it's true. He met Judge Gavelle up on the roof 2 nights ago. But he was also here on the movie set last night. Did he come to meet Sean? I think we'll need to go over the boy's statement very carefully indeed.
Take me a sippy. I went up on the roof of the trailer to prep the kit I was using and I turned on the heater.
Hold it!
You're a fit and hardy young man, Sean. It's spring now, surely you didn't really need to fire up that stove.
Overruled!
Stove?
He is a fit and hardy young man who needs to look after himself.
Objection!
Really, Your Honor, but if he resorts to such measures even during warm weather...
Seriously? You two are going to argue over something like that right now?
He's right, of course.
Heyo, Quinsby. You super late. That's okay. I'm only an hour into stream.
You've made your point, Sean, but I've told you before to watch how you talk to people. I think he was criticizing you as much as he was me, Your Honor.
Oh, you woke up late. Yes, Mom. Anyway, where was I?
That's okay. I wake up a little late myself.
I must have left it burning when I came back down to run my lines.
Alright. You left it burning. You didn't think to check before you came back down to the lot.
I meant to, but I was thinking about my lines and the scene and everything else. It's not my fault I forgot. Everybody forgets stuff. Aw, kiddo. You don't have ADHD, do you? I sure do. So much stuff.
Okay, please.
I leave the air conditioner on in Mr. Edgeworth's office, and the lights. I forget that he told me never to jump off the ladder on his bookshelves or make prank calls. But the one thing I would never ever forget to do is to turn off an unattended heater.
Please, Sean, go on. He's just gonna pretend he didn't hear any of that.
She's a lot, huh? Anyway, as I was saying... Oh, hello, Mithrin. How you doing? Pickles. Ow. My mom called. I left the set to go talk to her.
You're doing, next question. Fair enough. It was the middle of the night and the set was deserted.
Ah, hungover. So you had a bit of a tipple, even.
And why did you need to leave in order to talk to your mother?
Presumably, he doesn't have his own phone yet. I forgot I was supposed to talk to her. I got confused, I guess. I thought if I didn't leave, she'd find out I was out of the hotel at night on my own.
That doesn't make sense. You know that, don't you?
Fine. Look, the camera was rolling and the mics were all live, okay? I didn't want our conversation on that tape where anybody could hear it.
He was embarrassed about being recorded speaking on the phone to his mother.
That makes sense. So I ditched the rehearsal and ran off set as quick as I could. I came back after the call. Torsaurus' head had fallen from the roof.
Hold it!
Were there any signs that it was about to fall before you left?
I don't remember. I was concentrating on my lines.
But a fire had broken out on the roof because of the heater you forgot to turn off. Did you really hear nothing the entire time?
No, I had my headphones on.
Why?
I was playing the soundtrack to the movie to help me concentrate. And I was playing it loud. Oh, don't play your music that loud. You'll damage your hearing. You'll give yourself tinnitus. So yeah, I definitely didn't hear anything.
Except for the sound of your phone ringing when Judge Gavelle called you?
You know that cell phones vibrate these days, right? Anyway, he's got you there, Reggie.
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual about the body?
I don't know. It was dark.
He suddenly seems even more reticent than usual.
I don't think he wants to go back over that memory any more than he has to, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm sure he doesn't, but is that really all it is? Should I push him a little more on this?
As usual, you want to push. Press, rather.
It was dark, but you knew there was a body nonetheless. He's hiding something. I'd better find out what. Most people would cry out for help if they saw somebody lying on the ground. And yet, you didn't.
Yeah, because what was the point? He was dead.
So you said. What I am interested in is how you were able to be so sure. Why were you certain that he was dead?
He was lying on the ground and that huge head was right next to him. Didn't take much to figure out what must have happened.
Objection!
You couldn't have guessed that the impact would have killed him. How did you really know? I'll tell you how. Because you checked.
Ah! Fine, I checked, okay? I was scared, but... Yeah, I went up to the body and I looked and he wasn't breathing.
So I was right. But why try to hide that fact? There must be a reason.
Yeah, Edgeworth. Let's see how far we can re-traumatize this poor young boy.
Could you tell me how the body looked at that point? God damn it.
I couldn't tell if he was dead at first. There was no blood or anything, so it was hard to be sure. Nothing on his clothes either. He was completely clean. Completely clean? But yeah, he wasn't breathing. That sounds about what is happening. So that's how I knew he was dead.
Thank you. I'd like you to add that statement to your testimony if you don't mind.
I didn't know he was dead at first. Nothing on his clothes, you say? Nothing on his clothes, you say? Nothing on his clothes, you say?
Objection!
Nothing on his clothes, you say? Nothing at all?
Yeah, nothing. Why? Is there a problem with that?
There is something you're clearly hoping we've forgotten.
What are you talking about? There isn't. That's not true.
Unluckily for you, we remember it rather well. I'm talking, of course, about the yellow speckles on the president's chest.
Speckles. I love that word, speckles. Ah!
You studiously avoided mentioning them throughout your testimony. An absence I find suspicious, to say the least.
Oh, that's...
I hope for your sake that you have a satisfactory explanation.
Overruled.
Nope. Hello? Ma'am? Madame la juge? Judge Cavell.
Allow me to explain.
You, but...
The yellow residue on the president's chest.
Interrupts with only dots.
Yes, it's true. Ellipses. I imagine it was from a bouquet of flowers. Lion lilies, to be precise. Lion lilies.
Lion lilies?
2 nights ago, when I met the president on the roof of the big building. I presented him with a bouquet. Ooh, pretty. They're a type of lily with large yellow petals. I imagine that the substance on President Wong's chest was pollen from those flowers. You know, I'm just thinking about the fact that, President Wong was very lion-coded, but, you should never have lilies around cats. Because even the pollen can... what part of... can, really, really hurt them. Internally. Hurt them internally. It can cause, renal failure and all that kinds of stuff. Huh? But... they're not there in the printout from the security camera. Oh, they're just hidden behind his shoulder. Only because the president is in the way. Oh, I was joking!
But why give him flowers?
That is not something I'm at liberty to divulge.
Knuckle back!
What, more secrets? Are you serious? First, you wouldn't tell us why you met with him, and now you can't even tell us about the flowers?
My sincerest apologies. But all I can tell you is that I gave him that bouquet.
Objection!
A bouquet that was nowhere near the body when it was discovered. How do you explain that?
I cannot.
Seriously, Your Honor? Some things you won't explain, the rest you can't. Come on, you gotta give us something here. You wouldn't let this fly in the courtroom? What makes you think we'll accept it?
Hey, you leave her alone. Sean. I threw the flowers away, okay?
You did? So they were there when you first found the body?
Yeah, they were right there on his chest. And they were squashed completely flat. Oh, I guess that makes sense, right? They would have gotten crushed along with the president.
And the pollen would have been smeared across his jacket front. That does explain things rather neatly. But why remove the bouquet and dispose of it?
No reason. Sean, come on now.
He's almost as evasive as his mother.
More secrets. They are quite a pair.
Overruled.
There is no secret. That's what someone who has a secret would say.
I know exactly why Sean disposed of the bouquet.
Huh?
You saw me leave the house with it, didn't you?
Oh? I get it. When you saw the flowers on the president's body, you remembered seeing your mom with them.
And felt a need to prevent her from coming under suspicion.
No, you've got it all wrong.
That's his least convincing lie yet. I often decorate our home with lion lilies. I imagine that's why he remembered.
Not so fast.
So, the flowers his mother was carrying showed up on the president's body. And because of that, he got rid of the bouquet and kept quiet about having discovered the corpse. Huh. Well, that ties everything up nicely, doesn't it? A little too nicely for my tastes.
Why? What's wrong with nice?
I guess you forgot, huh? The kid also told us that he was responsible for that head falling in the first place.
Yeah, he did, but
So he's still our only suspect.
Objection.
really?
The finger of suspicion still seems to be pointing firmly in Sean's direction. However... Wait. I can think of a far more likely culprit than the boy. What? Who? The person who was holding Sean captive until only a short while ago. That's right. We had to rescue him from a warehouse refrigeration unit down by the harbor. A refrigeration unit in a depot? Yeah. Lucky it wasn't switched on. Poor kid might have frozen into a popsicle otherwise. He was doing his best to call out for help, which is how we found them.
The sedatives had worn off by then, so he was wide awake and plenty loud.
Sedatives. Isn't that what you were given too?
Yep, we found the bottle on the floor of the unit. It was even the same brand. 3 Z's. Apparently it's super strong. Stronger than the 2 Z's in ZZ Top.
Sorry, that was a nothing joke. Well, Agent Long, surely that suggests that Sean is a victim, not a suspect. Somebody else was responsible. And I think they've been behind all of this.
Not so fast.
Not so fast.
Oh, genuinely, I thought he was about to say, oh yeah, and is this secret mastermind in the room with us? This secret mastermind of yours was here last night, too? That I can't yet say. Huh. It's not like you to be so vague, Mr. Prosecutor. Imagine. Oh my god, that live band is still going. Unless it's Lang. Sadly, we just don't have anything to tie our mysterious kidnapper to the murder of the president. So, is there anybody else? Somebody other than Sean who could have committed the murder? Of course! So I was right. The kid is still our only suspect. No, shut up, Lang.
Objection!
Not quite. I can think of another. What? Somebody who he just recently proved was right here on the movie set last night. Chairman Winner. You think he killed President Wong? Hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Why not? We've proven that he was present. And if he was here, he's as viable a suspect as anybody else, wouldn't you say? Winner? Could he really have? It's certainly another possibility to consider.
You bug. Ah, you stink bug.
12 years ago, he was... That number again. Look, a lot happened, okay? This was all 12 years ago or more. My father and the president being friends. Our family being the ones who kept him safe. Blah, 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 blah.
Lung? Like the lung from 12 years ago?
Yep, good to see that you're finally about to pay for your crimes. Even if it did take a while for you to get what was coming to you. Agent Long, what happened 12 years ago? It's nothing to do with you. I think it has everything to do with me. It's clearly connected to this case.
Not so fast!
Huh. And you can prove that, can you? Go ahead. Show me some proof that what happened 12 years ago has anything to do with this. Proof? If you can't prove it, this conversation's over. Does any of the evidence we've collected show a link between recent events and those of 12 years ago? Yes.
Take that!
This letter was sent to Rosie Ringer, the victim of a murder that happened night before last. We don't know who sent it, but it does say this. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. What? But... And that's not all. Take a look at this! It's a report about Bronco Knight, written by Warden Lagarde. It was addressed to Chairman Winner. This last part in particular should be of interest to you. Retrieve the package we laid to rest 12 years ago in front of the planter? Something strange is going on, Agent Lang. Miss Ringer was murdered the night before last, and President Wong not long afterward. There's a connection between the two murders. There has to be. And I believe we can trace that connection to events 12 years in the past. Am I wrong? These are old wounds you're opening here. Insults to my family name. Please, Agent Long, we need to know. Who on earth was that? Shifu! Huh? What are you all doing here? We came to find you, sir. We heard you were looking into the incident from 12 years ago. Idiots! I'm not your boss anymore. Get back to your duties right now. We can't do that, sir. What?
You're disobeying a direct order? Please, sir, I'm begging you. We all are. You have to reopen the investigation into the SS5 incident. We know you can't let it go until you figured out what happened. And we can't either.
Sup, Mixon? How you doing?
Well, Agent Long, it seems your former underlings want the events of the past explained too. You think it's that easy? That you could solve the case just like that?
It's an you're in an Ace Attorney game, Long. It's gonna happen.
I think we can. Together. Huh. Well, alright then. Offer accepted.
Finally, he's using those 2 brain cells.
Yeah! Shifu! Shifu! Shifu!
Nice. Then I guess it's my turn to step up.
I'm sorry, Kay?
You're looking into a case from the past, right? I just happen to have something that'll help with that.
Ah, you mean Mr. Thief?
Oh yeah. Sure do. If you can give me the details of the incident, I can rustle up a little simulation for you.
Sadly, we don't have the files related to the case.
Huh? How come?
Access to those files is restricted. They're top secret. Really? Why? Beats me. Somebody must have something to hide.
Ooh.
Even I've never seen them.
Oh.
Everything I know, I read in newspaper articles from the time. That's fine. Just tell us what you can. All right. The SS5 incident happened on a winter's day 12 years ago. February 10th, to be precise.
That's the day before my streamer anniversary day.
Your police received a call directly from the kidnapper. I've got the president of Zhengfa. So he was kidnapped. Yeah. SS5 is the official designation of the president's kidnapping case. The kidnapper wanted $100 million.
$100 million? How much money even is that?
More than you can imagine, it seems. The last person to see the president that night was my father. They were together at the embassy of Zhengfa until midnight on the 10th. And nobody knows what happened with the president after that until he was kidnapped. It's too Big Macs. Our government did everything they could to scrape together the money. They were desperate to save him. And in the end, they succeeded. The money was handed over and the president came home safely.
Hey! So, President Wang was head honcho even back then? Wow, go Mr. President!
The length of time he stayed in power isn't even close to the most impressive thing about him. Agent Long was clearly very fond of President Wang. I assume the kidnapping was thoroughly investigated. It was, but the investigation was top secret, as was the trial. The trial? So, a suspect was arrested? Yeah, none other than our friend Fifi Lagarde. What? Is that why you visited the prison? It is. I was put on what you might call extended leave from Interpol. So I thought I'd use the time to look into what happened 12 years back.
and I wanted to see who I was dealing with.
She was found not guilty then, wasn't she?
Yeah. My father was in charge of the president's security at the time. But they held him responsible for the kidnapping and stripped him of his duties as presidential bodyguard. He stayed on the force, though, and he worked the case alone until eventually he found a suspect. Lagarde. And if he thought she did it, there's no way she was innocent. But they declared her not guilty and the case went cold. My father couldn't take it. He was broken, mentally and physically. Finally, he quit the force altogether. So he had solid grounds to suspect Warden Lagarde. He must have had evidence. He wouldn't have charged her otherwise. But I've never been able to see the materials from that case. I'm sorry, but that's all I know.
What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? This is useful information, but I don't think it's enough for Little Thief to recreate the scene.
Nah. Is there really nothing we can do?
Hold it. Who's holding? You look like you could use a hand.
Who's this now?
Oh. Hey, Franziska.
Franziska.
And Mr. Fender.
We finally wrapped things up over at the courthouse, so we thought we'd see what you kids were up to.
Here.
What's this? It says SS5 Incident Investigation Report.
Whoa! That thing we were complaining that we didn't have. Hooray! When Fifi Lagarde mentioned an incident from 12 years ago earlier, I couldn't help but wonder. So, I decided to look into it. And this was what Interpol provided.
Nice work, Franziska.
Don't get the wrong idea, Miles Edgeworth. Baka. You're no longer a prosecutor. I didn't do this for you. It's not like I was trying to help you or anything. I did it so that a colleague could... Oh, goodness. Let the air out of the bag on that one. I did it so that a colleague could solve his father's final case.
I owe you, sis. But everything related to the SS5 incident was supposed to be top secret.
Yes, but that classification was applied by the prosecutor in charge of the case, Excelsius Winner.
He was the prosecutor in charge. Him again?
Don't worry. Due to the outcome of this morning's case, he's been stripped of his authority. An outcome that was in no small part thanks to the efforts of his own son.
Ooh. Eustace. So, in defeating his father, he made the old case file available to us. Sounds like we owe him.
Prosecutor Eustace Winner is busy wrapping things up after the conclusion of the Lagarde trial. But he asked me to give you a message. Leave Dad and Lagarde to me. You focus on your case over there.
He's even starting to sound like a prosecutor.
Indeed he is. All right! Now that we have the case file, I can recreate the scene, no problem.
Excellent. Let's get started. According to the file, the incident occurred exactly where the plaza is now.
Then what are we waiting for? With me, everybody. back in the plaza.
Alright, Kay, if you could set Mr. Thief in motion.
Sure. Looks like there's more than enough here to work with. Where do you want to start?
Good question. Let's see. It seems there was an eyewitness. A freelance journalist by the name of Alf Aldown.
Uh-huh.
But apparently, he was killed by the culprit for witnessing the kidnapping.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
So this is where he saw it all happen, huh?
Here? As in the big building?
No, construction of the building only began a year ago. Before that, it had been a piece of abandoned property. And before that... Huh! Now we're getting to the stuff I know. 12 years ago, this place would have been... the Happy Family Home.
Oh?
Like for retired people? No, it was a place for children without parents.
It was an orphanage.
In other words, the president was kidnapped from an orphanage. Yeah, and the place was run by Fifi Lagarde.
Well,
She called it her happy little home. Oh, God.
she didn't make the children into zoo exhibits, did she? As the proprietor of the institution, I suppose it's understandable that she came under suspicion.
President Wong, Excelsior Huina, and Warden Lagarde. Surely the SS5 incident must be related to our current case. Kay, could you enter the data relating to the murder of Mr. Aldown?
Oh, I should be pronouncing it all down.
It seems sensible to assume that he was killed by whoever kidnapped the president.
So if we solve the murder, we solve the kidnapping. Nice!
Alright, we're counting on you.
Woo! Wow!
Oh my God!
Ah! What the heck is this?
When did I grow to become so blasé towards people's reactions to Mr. Thief? What we're seeing here is the front yard of the orphanage as it was 12 years ago. At least as far as the police reports describe it.
Yeah, this is how it looked when they started investigating at 7 a.m. the morning after the murder.
And look, it also used to have griffin statues at the front of it. And it seems it had been snowing. Yeah, from what I heard, the footprints wound up being pretty important evidence. The snow fell in the daytime the previous day. In other words, before the incident occurred. Meaning that none of the relevant footprints would have been obscured by new snow. I think we'll need to pay these footprints some special attention.
Oh, we can talk to people. Boy, howdy, is this ever a scoop? Whole world's gone green! God, I wish it would. Must be an outbreak of something. I'm seeing green trees, green people, green clothes, everything. They must be real sick if even their clothes are green. Looks like we wound up slap bang in the middle of the right dang place at the right dang time. Oh boy. Sure did, Chief. I don't think we're gonna get a word in edgewise here, Mr. Edgeworth.
And I don't think we want to.
Oh, look at this sad snowman! Ah!
This looks like a snowman, but it's mostly melted.
He's so sad. Well, it's no wonder he's all slushy. He's wearing a hat and a scarf. He must have been all roasty toasty.
Okay, that's not how that works.
Aw, and look at his cute little button eye just lying there.
He probably would have frozen back up again at dawn, you know. That's when it's usually coldest.
I don't think that would have helped much, Mr. Edgeworth. If a melted snowman froze again, it wouldn't turn back into a snowman. It would turn into an Iceman.
Ah! What? Is what I bet you wanted me to say, isn't it? Well, too bad.
Got me there, Edgeworth. How dare you, Scruffy! Don't you dare tell anybody! I'll just deny it anyway!
Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta help me out here, sir! What's the matter, Detective? It's about the SS5 incident. What else? I know Chairman Winter isn't in charge anymore and all, but a top-secret file being available to us so quickly after his removal? Well, something seemed off. So that got me to thinking, and I put in a call, and they told me that, that Miss Von Karma went to some pretty extreme lengths to get that file released.
Cuss you, Scruffy! I deny everything!
Ah! It sounds like you went to a lot of trouble for our sake, Franziska. Don't worry, your efforts won't be for nothing. I'll solve this case, you'll see. And I'll tell nobody that you helped. It's a porch swing with an elephant's face on it. And behind it is what appears to be a motor.
You know what every dedicated swing fiend always wonders, don't you? If they can swing all the way over the top and back again. Maybe a motorized swing could finally make that dream come true.
No, you can do it. It just has to be a very, very tall swing. Wouldn't that be a little dangerous?
And what dream isn't, huh? Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
True, but hardly applicable in this case.
Well, we can talk to Long.
3 planters covered in snow. Is anything the matter, Agent Long? Yeah, something's not right. I wasn't able to look at the case file until now. Indeed. You have Chairman Winter to thank for that, it seems. Yeah, but what's weird is, I've seen this scene somewhere before. What? But where? I keep thinking I've got it, but then it's gone. He appears to be lost in his efforts to remember. Perhaps I should leave him alone for now.
Oh, we can show him things. Actually, while we're here, let's look at this. The case overview for SS5. Occurred on February 10th, 12 years ago. President of Zhengfa was kidnapped and ransomed for $100 million. President's presence at embassy until midnight confirmed by De Long Lang. Prosecutor in charge Excelsius Winner, suspect Vive la Garde. Yes, indeed.
Oh, that's that one.
We could talk to his guy.
Shifu, I know it's rude of me to ask, but can we count off for old time's sake? Just once, I'm begging you. For old time's sake, seems a little sentimental. But fine. Oh no, not again. Count off! 1! Sorry, Shifu. It just doesn't feel the same on my own. It's kind of lonely. Oh, fool. It shouldn't matter if there's one of you or 100. You may be on your own here right now, but the pack is always with you. There are 100 wolves inside you right now. God, get them out of there. So quit whining about being lonely and howl like you mean it. Count off! 1! 1! 1! Hold on. 1! 1! 1! Is he crying? The tortoise and the hare. Inspired by the children's story, no doubt. The tortoise races the speedy hare and wins.
Alright, time for a K Faraday pop-up pop quiz. Why did the hare lose the race? I'll give you 3 options.
I don't need 3 options, Kay. He lost because he stopped to rest and fell asleep.
Number 1, the hare's favorite running shoes were stolen by the Yatagarasu. Number 2, the tortoise trained with the Yatagarasu and got so fast that he won. Number 3, the real winner was the Yatagarasu who plotted a surprise secret victory.
Those are my only 3 options?
Too hard? Alright, I'll give you a hint. The option you're looking for starts with a thir.
Well, that definitely narrows it down. Ah, looks chillier than your chilliest look out here, Malzerino. Somebody might have to warm me up. Do not look at me, do not look at Kay.
Could you maybe take this a little more seriously, Mr. Fender?
For you, K-Meister, anything. Can't believe this whole sorry tale began right here. Kinda crazy, right? Yes, it is a little. What were Fiefs and the chairman up to, though? Where were they going with all this? Where indeed. I'd very much like to know that myself. And I'd very much like to know when you two are gonna admit how much you love your Uncle Eddie.
Not anytime soon. Come on, Mr. Fender. You're not taking this seriously at all.
He did, for about 3 sentences, which is something of a record.
An igloo shaped like a bear. The perfect balance of cuteness and scariness. I guess you could call it a bigloo.
It is quite large. You could probably fit as many as 3 people inside it.
Yeah, and you could live in there for 3 whole years.
No? 3 years. And what about the summer? Wouldn't the big igloo melt?
Again! Say it again, Mr. Edgeworth, please. One more time.
Wouldn't the igloo melt?
Ah, you're no fun.
Can I help you, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh. So things are finally settling down after Warden Lagarde's trial? It would seem so. Sentencing is still to come, but the guilty verdict should stand. And do not worry. Excelsius Winner's connection to the case will be thoroughly investigated. Have faith, Mr. Edgeworth. Eustace is a changed man. Indeed. He simply had some growing to do, but then don't we all? Kay included.
Huh? Kinda feel for him now. I said some pretty mean things, but I'll make it up to him next time I get the chance.
And I'm sure that chance will come. But for now... Indeed. We need to focus on the case at hand. I cannot thank you all enough for returning Sean safely to me. I can hardly bear to imagine how I would have felt if he had not come home.
Hey, old guy, can't you see you're upsetting her?
That was not my intent at all.
Look at our little knight in shining armor defending his mom's honor. Shut up! I wouldn't have to if you didn't keep...
That's enough, Sean. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll allow me. I would like to apologize again. I failed in my duty as a servant of justice. I will not ask you to forgive me. I only ask that you understand that I... Judge Gavel, I don't presume to know the Goddess of Justice as well as you do. But she was a mother, was she not? Of other gods and goddesses?
She was.
Fair judgment requires personal circumstances to be taken into account. I'm sure she would understand. Perhaps your beloved goddess is more merciful than you give her credit for.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh. What are they even talking about? Don't worry, Sean. I don't have a clue either. Wonder what we can show. Okay.
On the matter of what happened the night before last and the reasons for my meeting with the President, I'm afraid I must keep my silence for now. Even though you know how crucial that information is to our case?
Yes.
Even in spite of that. Forgive me. She's really not going to back down on this one. And I can't see a way to try to convince her to open up. I think my only choice is to drop the matter for now.
But allow me to say one thing. Sean's efforts to protect me disrupted your investigation. For that, I can only apologize.
Don't worry. It would take more than the lies of a child to throw me off the scent. And besides, not even I'm thoughtless enough to criticize a child for wanting to protect his mother.
And besides, what?
Oh, it's nothing. Ignore me. Nor a mother for wanting to protect her child.
Can we talk to Sean? What do you want?
Sean, I wonder if you could tell us a little more about the circumstances surrounding your kidnapping?
They took you when you went to the garbage disposal area, right? But what were you doing there? It's all right. You don't have to talk for him. He can just ask me himself. Hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? I think he's starting to warm up to you. I went to the garbage disposal to throw away the flowers that were on that body. Oh. It wasn't far, and I figured they'd be less likely to find him there than if I threw them in a garbage can. I tried to get in there last night, too. But it was locked.
So you had to come back today and try again?
Yeah, but when I was there, somebody came up behind me and put something over my face. Oh yeah, snoozing's easy-threezy with 3 Z's.
The fact that she was drugged with it too doesn't seem to bother her. I guess it is a catchy name.
Whoever it was pretty strong, but I never saw their face.
I see. Thank you, that's very helpful. What can you tell us about the time between when you were kidnapped and when you were found?
Not a whole lot, I'll bet. Snoozing's easy-threezy with 3 Z's.
Kay, please.
I remember waking up feeling cold. I was somewhere big and empty and dark. There were cardboard boxes with some other language written on them. I figured it must be a storeroom. But it was actually a giant refrigerator. Businesses use them to keep stuff chilled.
And that's where Kay and Detective Gumshoe found him. They really saved the day there.
Guess the cooler must have been on until just before I was brought there. Like I said, it was pretty cold. Anyway, they didn't take my phone for some reason. So I used that to call for help.
I see. Well, we're all very glad that you found your way back to us safely.
Nah, say it like you mean it, why don't you?
He's not the most gracious child I've met.
Reminds me of sorry. Reminds me of a certain somebody else. Okay. Let us... Hey, this arch! We've seen it somewhere before, right?
Indeed we have. It's the same one that stands over the entrance of the big building today.
But this is supposed to be how things looked 12 years ago. Was it there the whole time?
It seems the architects worked the old archway into the structure of the new building.
The future is simply the past reheated. I think I heard that somewhere.
And for once it seems you might have remembered it correctly.
But 12 years is a long time to reheat something for. If it was your lunch, it'd be ruined.
I'm glad that that's the thing. Anyway, these planters.
According to the case file, the yard stretched around 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were 3 planters on each side.
Ah. Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before.
Shame there aren't many flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter.
Yes, but look at that one. It's bright yellow.
Weird. How come there's only one? Wait, it looks like somebody dropped it.
That's a lion lily, if I'm not very much mistaken. A rare member of the family Liliaceae. A lion lily, you say?
Wait, did Judge Gavel give President Wong some lion lilies?
What is the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence, can it?
I believe this particular cultivar is from Asia, where it is said to symbolize the bond between parent and child.
I wasn't aware you were so knowledgeable when it came to flowers, Franziska.
What I just told you is common knowledge. Perhaps you just need to read a little more.
Alf Alldown, the man who witnessed the president's kidnapping. But what exactly did he see?
I based this part of the recreation on one of the crime scene photos.
It seems he suffered a blow to the back of the head. Ah ha ha!
Yeah, from that brick right there. They figured it must have been taken from the yard.
It looks like the blood flowed from the head wound and spread over the surrounding area.
Here, a gift for you. This is Mr. Alldown's autopsy report.
I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
We have a mobile phone.
This cell phone must have belonged to the victim.
You're right. Yeah, it says here in the file that Mr. Alldown made a call while he was watching the kidnapping.
A call? To whom?
His girlfriend.
Oh, oops! His girlfriend. Seems he called her when he saw that the president was there. But she didn't pick up, so he left a message.
That's in here too if you want to hear it.
Please. Hey, Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wong's here for some reason. And there's another. Damn it, the light's out, so I can't quite see, but it looked like he was being kidnapped? Anyway, it's probably nothing, but I thought I should let you... What were those sounds at the end? He must have been attacked while he was still on the phone.
Agent Long, can I ask you something? Mr. Alldown's girlfriend, what was her name?
Ringer. Rosie Ringer. At least that's what I heard.
Oh.
Just as I thought.
Wait, you mean...
Her revenge for what happened 12 years ago. All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Winner, she made her appearance at the auction.
So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winner, wasn't she?
Perhaps it was for his suppression of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it was because she thought he was one of the kidnappers.
And the body itself.
Alf Alldown, freelance journalist. Killed after witnessing the kidnapping of President Wang.
Even in the recreation, it's pretty gruesome, huh?
It's even worse in the actual crime scene photos. That's a lot of blood. It seems mostly to have come from the back of his head. As you can see, that area is completely caked.
Yeah. The autopsy report says that's where he was hit with the brick.
Indeed. I imagine his attacker must have snuck up on him from behind. It looks as though he's clutching something in his right hand.
Oh yeah, they mentioned that in the file somewhere. Let's see. According to this, it was a button.
A button? Torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps?
The blood was his.
Brick. This was the brick used in the murder.
There's stuff made of bricks all around the yard here. They probably took it from somewhere nearby, huh? Camera.
So the victim was carrying a camera. I go get a drink and Iska's found a dead body. Classic Iska. Hold on, we didn't find the body. We recreated it from from a case file.
Oh yeah, according to the file, they recovered a picture. Yeah. Here we are.
That's...
It's the president, right?
That somehow sounds worse. Forensics, have you recreated the scene? Oh, I thought I was supposed to recreate the body. Dr. Frankenstein, you goddamn idiot. Wait a minute, you're not... You don't even have a doctorate. Why are you here? And somebody's pointing a gun at him. This must be what Mr. Alldown witnessed.
So the person in the trench coat is the kidnapper.
Yes, I imagine they were trying to conceal their identity. But if Agent Lung's father's theory was correct, the person wearing that trench coat is Warden Lagarde.
How come they only found the one picture?
He probably wasn't able to take any more before he was attacked.
Anything? Oh, the flower. Somebody's dropped a yellow flower here. It's a lion lily, right?
According to Franziska, yes. They're originally from Asia, if I recall correctly.
Yep, and she said it symbolizes the pond being painted or tiled, right?
It was the bond between parent and child, Kay. Oh, that's amazing. Amazing, incredible localization.
Oops. Anyway, we have a thing we can solve.
So that's what our monstrous hoof prints really were.
Wait, what?
Recall the arrangement of the prints. Now, compare it to that of the planters.
Oh yeah. Those look like the bottom corners. Whoa!
That's right. I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood.
So Chairman Winter was digging around the front of them?
He was. And why might he have been doing that? We have a piece of evidence in our possession that answers exactly that question. Which piece of evidence shows why Chairman Winter might have been digging in the front of the planters?
This one.
Retrieve the package we laid to rest right in front of the planter where we left it.
Take that!
Recall, if you will, the report that Warden Lagarde sent to Chairman Winter. In it, she mentioned something that had been laid to rest in front of a planter.
You think she was telling him where to dig? Wait, but why 3 holes? 'Cause there was 3 planters.
Because the report didn't specify which of the planters she meant.
Oh, I get it. So he wasn't sure which one it was. Which meant he had to try and dig up all 3.
I imagine so, yes. Poor Chairman Winter.
But why go to all that trouble? What was he looking for? Something tells me we don't have that. Oh.
I don't believe there's any more to be found here. Okay. So why is it still... Oh, wait. What?
Why isn't there a tick?
What did Winter dig up? Well, it can't have been that brick. Ah, footprints. These footprints stopped by the body.
I guess that means they belong to Mr. Alldown, right? His feet were pretty big. What's that, about a size 12?
Those are some big feet.
According to the file, they were the same size as his shoes. It's a match.
These footprints go toward the body and come back.
According to the case file, they're thought to be the killers. They're about a size 9. Pretty average, in other words. It seems the police weren't able to track down who the murderer was from them, though. Is there something we can... Nope. Oh, message... Blue...
He was 31. Oh no, I'm 31! Okay. Yeah. Okay, what am I missing? Oh.
What's that? I'm 31. Sure am. It was my birthday on Thursday.
There are burn marks on this pillar here.
The report says there was a fire sometime on the evening of the incident. Same. You're also 31?
Or was it also your birthday? On Thursday?
Happy birthday, thanks. I had a good birthday. Very nice dinner.
A fire.
Let's see. Where was it again? You will be. You will be 31 later. At the end of May. Nice. Let's see. Where was it again? Yeah. One of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene.
And nice dinners are good.
Some sort of prank, probably.
They sound like a lively bunch. Possibly too lively. It seems their antics spoiled our chances of finding any footprints near the entrance to the building. I think that's about all we can learn from the scene for now.
Alright, how about I try to show you how things looked earlier on that night?
That would be very much appreciated. Could you take us back to the moment at which the victim witnessed the kidnapping?
Sure, I'll use the photograph he took. Here goes nothing.
There's Mr. Alldown in the middle of the planters.
And there's the president and his kidnapper out by the road.
My father based his investigation on the evidence Alldown provided. That was why he thought the kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow. And how he wound up suspecting Fifi Lagarde. She was the one running the orphanage at the time. Exactly. But when the case went to trial, Excelsius Winner put a big hole in that theory. He did?
Of course he did.
Yeah. After all, the president and the kidnapper weren't actually on the grounds of the orphanage.
Of course.
So it was hard to conclusively prove any kind of connection.
Huh. So they were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage.
Detectives bust a gut to find evidence on the scene, and then prosecutors come along and twist it for their own ends. Winner and Lagarde were working together. They had some kind of deal. I'm sure of it.
So you're saying that Chairman Winner was working with the kidnapper? Another puzzle.
Your father was convinced that Lagarde was the culprit, correct? And you say he was a gifted and thorough investigator. Then he must have had more to support his theory than just Mr. Alldown's message, surely. Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. It wasn't exactly a case he liked talking about. Agent Long's father, Da Long Lang. Trusted ally and confidant of President Wang. He discovered truths that were subsequently suppressed by Chairman Winner. Our first priority should be to find out what they were. These footprints stopped by the body.
I guess that means they belong to Mr. Alldown, right? His feet were pretty big. What's that, about a size 12?
Oh, we went through this already. Mr. Alldown took his picture of the president's kidnapping from here,
And then called Rosie Ringer.
by which point his killer must have already been approaching from behind.
With a brick in their hand ready to strike.
I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
Hey, that snowman! It was melted in the simulation of the morning after the murder, huh? And that muffler was all wet and its little button eyes had fallen off.
Indeed, it still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I can see one thing that's missing.
Aw, poor guy. I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they had potential.
You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely.
I'll give that a minute.
We'll let that simmer for now. Dijun Wang. He was president of Zhengfa even back then.
Does he look any younger? It's kinda dark. Can't really tell.
Indeed, and the situation being what it is, his facial expression is somewhat distorted.
And a bit blurry. I wonder where they took him after this.
We don't know that yet, but depending on how our investigation progresses, we may find out soon enough. The president's kidnapper. We should see if we can judge anything based on their appearance.
Roger that, Red Leader. Alright, let's have a look at you.
The first thing to note is that they're holding the president at gunpoint.
Trying to look all cool and tough, waving a pistol around. Whoever it is, they suck.
Their coat and hat completely cover their face, so unfortunately we can't identify them that way.
Turning their collar up and pulling their hat down and trying to be all mysterious. I hate this kidnapper.
And they seem pretty relaxed. I don't think they were particularly nervous.
Yeah, hand in the pocket, classic show-off move. You suck! You suck! You suck!
Okay, that's...
What? You said to judge them by their appearance.
Well, yes, but I didn't mean it like that.
Look how tiny their feet are.
I shouldn't judge. I also happen to have tiny feet. I'm like a size 5.5. Could this be related to evidence?
Yeah.
This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Also, what character has tiny feet as in evidence?
We don't know.
In that case, you have amazingly great legs. Lexon?
His right eye.
Indeed. Luckily, we've managed to locate it.
The button Mr. Alldown was holding. Look at that. It's the same type of button as the other eye and everything.
And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. What does the button contradict? The victim's location. The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood. Which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if, after being struck, Mr. Alldown lost his balance and reached out to grab something to steady himself? The snowman. The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling.
I get it. So you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked?
I am. Within arm's reach, to be precise. And he's currently nowhere near that close.
Right. But his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this way.
What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints again.
Alright, I'll take us back to the scene when Mr. Alldown's body was found.
Yeah, I was about to say... His feet don't look like a size 12's.
But the footprints on the left definitely matched up with Mr. Alldown's shoes, right? So what's the deal?
Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Alldown's footprints?
Well, they're the same size, which is pretty big. And the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planters where his body was found.
But as we've established, when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman.
Well, being a great thief, I know a few contortionist tricks, but that would be way beyond even me. Some average Joe stretching his arms that far? Basically impossible.
I think we can be reasonably certain that the prints were made by the shoes the victim was wearing. But can we be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes? Perhaps we should take another look at them. Ah, this is why. Look at that! These shoes, as the case file says, they match the footprints, but... These aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it.
They're too big! What do you mean?
Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly.
Big! Shoes! So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found and they stop right by his feet.
But they didn't actually belong to him.
So are the prints by his head his? The ones that lead away and come back?
No, I don't think so. They're too small.
So neither set belongs to him. Then how did he get here?
That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. So then where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspect? Oh, that's right, I didn't look at the blood stain.
Ugh, fresh blood. And plenty of it, according to the autopsy report. He died from loss of blood due to the blow to the back of his head.
Yes, and that blood spread out over the entire area. I doubt anybody could have bled that much and survived. Anyway, this certainly seems to confirm what the autopsy report suggests.
Oops. Alright. Can we solve anything here?
Nope. Cannot. That doesn't add up. I better think again. Nope.
Oh, we didn't talk too long about his father.
President Wang changed after the SS5 incident. I guess he felt his trust had been betrayed. I can understand that. But to cut ties with my family completely, after how close we'd been for all those years, my father was desperate to make amends. To get just one chance to say sorry. But no matter how many times he tried to get an audience with the president, he couldn't. He couldn't even convince them to take a letter to him. One time he came home covered in bruises. Who knows from where? A bodyguard, maybe? Sorry, there's no point making you sit through old stories that won't change anything anyway. I'll be the judge of that. As warm and fuzzy as ever, I see. Not that I expected any different. That case ruined my father, and my family too. The people who failed to keep the president safe. That's all we were after that. He threw himself heart and soul into that investigation. He became obsessed, in other words. Hardly the best state of mind in which to undertake an inquiry. Wow, you really don't pull your punches, huh? Look, just don't go thinking I'm only doing this because of my dad, okay? That investigation was solid. His work was meticulous and it was accurate. It always was. He interviewed every single one of those kids, and he made sure they told him everything. I wonder if he learned anything of value. What kind of brat sets a fire like that for fun?
Yeah, we lost a bunch of vital evidence thanks to that little prank.
Agent Long, your father investigated the SS5 incident in some depth, correct? Do you know if he learned anything about the child who set the fire? You wondered about that too, huh? So did I. Sadly. He never shared his thoughts on the matter with anybody? Yeah, which means the truth was lost to time. Guess we'll never track it down now. He may not share it, but I get the sense that talking about this is very hard for him indeed.
Heh. Aren't you forgetting something, Agent Long? Wolves are amazing trackers. You can sniff that truth out wherever it is.
You're right. Who knew you'd be the one to tell me that? Maybe you're not so bad after all. She's my assistant for a reason, Agent Long.
Ah. I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant for a reason, Agent Long.
You want me to tell you about the SS5 incident? In a nutshell, my dad couldn't keep the most important person in Jung Fa safe. So he put everything on the line to try and figure out what happened. He nearly worked himself to death trying to solve that case. Got so bad he looked like a ghost. Maybe it would have all been worth it if he could have gotten the people responsible convicted. But he couldn't. And that Lagarde woman got off scot-free. He failed to repay the president for all he'd done for us. And he failed to solve the case. And that's how a family of wolves got pulled into this never-ending nightmare. That enough for you? It sounds to me like one young cub in particular took his family's downfall very badly. I can only imagine how much the experience must have hurt him and his father. We will do all we can to bring this case... Sorry? We will do all we can to bring this case to its conclusion at last, Agent Lang. I promise you. And I hope that the story you just told us proves a useful clue in doing so. That's all you have to say after I poured my heart out to you? Why do I waste my time? Really, sir? Oh. I think Mr. Alldown's body was moved. How else do we explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest he was killed somewhere near the snowman. I better take a closer look. Must scour the scene. Hey!
Look at that. Huh, look, there's a brick missing here.
The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing.
Yes. Yep.
It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, now that you mention it, they're the exact same shape and size. Let's see, this should do it. Yay!
I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman.
Right. The button came from there, and the brick too.
Indeed. And what's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over by the planters... Oh, excuse me.
Mr. Alldown would have seen them right away.
Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay? Ooh, I just had a thought. Mr. Alldown wasn't standing by the planters. He was next to the snowman. Because I just realized that photo that's from Mr. Alldown's camera doesn't make sense.
Gotcha. Alright, here goes.
Unless the photo was set up.
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh?
Indeed. Everybody who is present is in exactly the same spot.
So, where do we go wrong?
One of the pieces of evidence on which we based our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow? But which one was it? Aha! I knew it!
Take that!
Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Alldown?
Huh? What do you mean?
We know that whoever killed him moved his body. But why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't?
And then they took the photo to help back up the lie.
They had the president at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the picture. He would have had no choice but to comply.
Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Aldown's camera, right?
Indeed. I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already in there, then replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one that they staged.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Mr. Aldown was killed. No way.
Yeah, way. And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Aldown saw at all. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that was the case.
Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Aldown thought he saw him being kidnapped?
Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try to figure that out.
Oh yeah, he left that voicemail too.
He did. I think we should listen back to it one more time, don't you? This is surely the only place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing.
Somewhere here.
Take that!
That's where they really were? How do you figure that?
Do I need a reason?
What, you mean you don't have one?
Ah! That clearly wasn't it. Okay.
Take that!
Oh, I got it. Recall this statement from Mr. Aldown's voicemail. Damn it, the light's out. 2 of the lights here in the yard are broken. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Wow.
Yeah, he must have been talking about the one over by the building.
Right. Could you update the simulation to reflect everything we've learned?
Sure.
And there we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building. Yes, which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail. Which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found.
Only one way to find out. Ready to make the jump?
To switch between the 2 recreations, I need to first talk with Kay, and then select switch recreations. I'll give it a try later when I need it. Oh shoot.
I'll be back in a moment. I will just realize it's 11. I'm just gonna go find myself a snack and also get my lamp in order. Alright. Here I am. It's very hard for me to tell if that live band in the over a few streets over is still playing or not, or if someone's just got their music blasting. No. But I'm back. And I've grabbed some Lindor chocolates.
There's no mistaking it. This is where Mr. Alldown actually took his pictures. Before being attacked by the murderer with a brick from the planter just behind him. After being attacked, he collapsed, grabbing the snowman's right eye as he fell.
Which means his body would have been here at first, and not where we thought it was before.
Indeed, we should examine the area where we previously thought it fell too.
Blood!
Mr. Alldown wasn't killed here between the planters at all.
Then what's this blood doing here?
Things have changed considerably in terms of what the simulation is showing us. But if we want to look more closely at this blood, I think we'll be better off looking at the simulation from the point at which the body was discovered.
Then what are we waiting for? I'm ready when you are. I don't need to do that. I want to look at this. So this is where Mr. Alldown actually saw the president and his kidnapper.
Yes. Which pretty clearly suggests a link between the kidnapping and the orphanage. You can see why so much trouble was taken to suggest that it happened elsewhere.
Yeah, they pulled some really dirty tricks there. Faking a photo like that, that's just cheating.
Not to mention disposing of Mr. Alldown's camera film, and forcing the president to pose at gunpoint. They must have put in some new film, then staged the photo immediately afterward.
And if Chairman Winter was involved, he could have changed or hidden other evidence as well.
Hell, he might have even been responsible for the fire. It certainly doesn't help that the SS5 case file was classified until just recently.
Yeah, but he's behind bars now, and the truth is coming out at last.
The truth come out. Indeed, although much still remains unclear. We need to look very closely at the differences between this and the previous simulation. There are burn marks on this pillar here.
The report says there was a fire sometime on the evening of the incident.
A fire?
Let's see, where was it again? Ah, yeah, one of the orphans set a fire with some kerosene. Some sort of prank, probably.
They sound like a lively bunch. Possibly too lively.
Nope. Fleur. Alright. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Let's switch recreations. And there we have it. Ah, here we are.
So, this is where Mr. Alldown really met his fate. But he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the staged photograph. Over to the spot between the planters.
So the footprints. The fact that they go over there and come back.
Yes, I think that tells us something important. That they were left by whoever carried him over there.
Poor snowman. Scour the scene. Blood!
Blood on the snow. A lot of it. It certainly looks as though a murder occurred here, doesn't it?
Wait, but we just figured out that Mr. Alldown was killed over by the snowman, right?
We did. I think this blood might belong to somebody else.
What? But the police report said the blood was Mr. Alldown's.
And what are the odds that that police report had an autopsy report written by Dr. Old Lady? Dr. Hertz? Need I remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winner? The man would have had no scruples about altering the official record over something this small.
But then why go to all that trouble? Couldn't he have just cleaned up the blood instead?
Blood is notoriously difficult to clean, Kay. He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this was where the police would find Mr. Alldown's body, and he knew that the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues.
Oh, you mean luminol? Yeah, they would have found traces of blood if they'd used that for sure.
Exactly. He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they come back in. Like trying to wash out grass stains, it's just impossible. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with a doctored copy.
Yeesh, so we've been looking at a forgery this whole time. That sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. Alldown's clothes were covered with blood too.
It does. And if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's blood this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Alldown's body was placed here.
I get it. Which means that the other person's blood was spilt not long before Mr. Alldown was killed.
I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? Hmm? Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Blood wasn't Alldown's. Trying to think. I want to say it's this.
Eureka!
I'm wrong, okay. This piece of evidence clearly contradicts what we're seeing here.
Oh, it does? Can't wait to hear this. Contradicts it how exactly?
Like this?
If you don't know, you can just say you don't know, you know?
I better think this over again.
When did the fire happen? We need to take another look and think about that. Lion lily, painted tiles. Alright. Am I meant to deduce the fire?
Eureka!
Oh, I was wrong again. If the fire happened before... Okay, okay. I think I'm getting it.
Eureka!
I think I'm putting it down. There we go. I finally... There is a clear contradiction here.
Huh? In the bloodstain?
The blood is clearly cut off where the snow was melted by the fire. Which means that the blood in question was spilt before the fire was started.
Huh. But the fire happened before the murder, no?
If we choose to believe the case file, yes. But if the fire was actually set after what happened here... the kid who lit him might have seen something. Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winner's version of events. We need to know more about this fire. Yo. It's Shifu. The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Go see if they have anything and bring everything you find back here right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right on it. And one more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Jungfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. There should? What kind of something exactly? I told you I'd seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it. Or at least, of something very much like it. What? It looked like it was drawn by a child. Oh. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away. Yes, Shifu.
Alright, now what?
I don't believe there's any more to be found here.
Yeah. Can I perhaps solve a... Oh, this is probably... Yeah.
If Chairman Winner was involved in President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday had something to do with the kidnapping.
Oh, I get it.
You do?
You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot! He must have been digging up the ransom money.
The ransom money. $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility.
Haha, glad you agree. Oh. Oh.
That was literally the last thing I needed to do. Alright. Shifu, I'm back. Oh, that was fast. I brought everything the police had on the fire. And I also brought that picture from your father's office. Oh, and one more... About time. What kept you, huh? Well, head it over. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we? Oh! Oh! That's it. This is it. This is the picture I remember. Someone here looks a little familiar, don't they? Could this be a depiction of something that happened on the night of the incident?
It sure looks like a kid drew it, huh? Okay.
Yes. And I'm willing to bet it's the work of the child who set the fire. Shifu, there's... What now? Look, it'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor? Why do you think my father kept this? I imagine he acquired it at some point during his investigation. Although I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Could we see the case file for the fire too? Sure, here. If you'll just give me a moment to read through it. It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident. And then disappeared several days later. What? Must have been because he saw something, right?
No, a kid, really? That's horrible.
Not out of the realm of possibility. Sadly, not unimaginable. Huh. Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence. Huh. What's this? That's... But what's it doing in that case file? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before? Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could well be connected.
This one.
Take that!
I don't know what it was doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like that might be the missing horn from this soft toy. Hey, that was President Wang's. You seen it before? Of course. He always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because of the missing piece. I see. It has a special device inside it that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn.
Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back on might unlock more recordings?
You never know. The toy itself should still be up on the 51st floor. Hey, you heard the man. Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch it right away. Here it is, Shifu. The Taurosaurus doll, just like you asked. Good work. Hand it to the prosecutor over there. Well, does the horn found at the orphanage fit the president's plushie?
It certainly doesn't fit my plushie. It fits perfectly.
And? Any more recordings on there?
Hi, Dijun. Sorry, President Wong. It's me, Amelie. I know it's been a while. I saw on the news that you were visiting the country soon. And I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end I decided I had to.
Overruled.
Turn it off right now! Huh? What's gotten into Judge Gavel?
Are you okay?
Just turn it off, please!
You see, I had a baby. A beautiful little boy. You're a beautiful little boy. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fen. It has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
No! Sean Fen? The kid?
And also that I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like. Even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but... Anyway, that's where I'll be. Goodbye.
What? He was my dad?
I'm so sorry, Sean. Care to explain what the heck is going on, Gavel? Sean isn't my biological son. I adopted him. And he was aware of this? Yes, of course. His mother, Amelie Fen, she died 5 years ago.
We were cousins. But we were also friends. The best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters. And so, when she died, it seemed only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret. And I decided that the best way to do that would be for him to never know in the first place.
That's quite a lot to learn from a recording made on a seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message, and then sent that plushie to the president.
Hey. Yes, Sean? You're sure? He was really my dad? Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Zhengfa.
Makes sense. That line of work might well have brought her into contact with the president.
Damn, I'm late as hell. Hello, Senorita Iska. Hello, Elvis Tech.
You've come in at quite the bombshell of an info drop.
What? You told me she worked at the orphanage. She did, but only after she returned. After she quit diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Can you be a plushie too? Depends. We'll see, Elvis Tech. We'll see.
Knuckle back!
Oh. Sorry, Judge Gavelle, but I have to ask. Amelie.
Fit. Bugs are flying at me.
The lady who asked the president to come. Why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the files related to the SS5 incident?
She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her.
I'll bet that was Chairman Winner's doing. Though sadly, we can't prove it.
And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again.
And then she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean.
Hey, Sean? Are you thirsty? We could go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on. I think I saw a vending machine over... You think I can't buy myself a soda? This is important and it's about me. I'm staying.
Damn.
Oh, that didn't work at all. Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago.
So that's it. That was the big secret.
I wanted to tell him face to face that Amelie was gone. But also that you were alive and well. More than well. But I...
It makes sense now. No wonder Judge Gavelle was so keen to avoid sharing the details of their meeting.
Yeah. She would have had to share the truth about Sean, too. That was why I took the lion lilies with me. So there would be no doubt that I knew Amelie, and that I knew her well. These flowers bore a special significance for the two of them, you see. President Wang gave Amelie a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of their romance. But now he too is dead. If only he had lived. Sean might finally have been able to get to know him.
Shifu! I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but... What? What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Can't it wait? They said something else from Zhengfa. President Wang's will. What? The president's will, huh? He gave my father medal after medal. They had to come up with new ones just for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give, so he made us the keepers of his last will and testament. Those medals that duty, they're our greatest pride, our family jewels. What does it say, Lang? What? This is... What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? You could say that. Seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Sean's name appears in the president's will? And we're certain that the document is authentic, that President Wang wrote it himself. Sure we are. It's old, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened. They'll want to analyze it back home to be sure, but I'd stake my name on it being a genuine article. Wang was a renowned world leader. A child nobody knew about would have been sure to cause a stir. I don't understand anything, but oh my god, the kid's a child of the president. That's exactly that's exactly it. Yeah, we just found out Sean Fen, young actor, is the son of now dead President Di Wang. And yet he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless. Well, that's that, I guess. I still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying it. Sean, you are President Wang's son. Sean! 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 To be continued, oh my goodness. Ah. Goodness gracious, oh my god. What a revelation, huh? But, I think that's where we, what's the word? I think that's a good place to settle down for the night. So next time, on Monday, I'll be playing more of Deltarune. I've messed myself up. The revelation of the history of the revelations. I keep wanting to say relevation because I said it. I said it wrong on purpose, and now my brain's stuck. But yeah, more Deltarune on Monday. Can't wait. We'll see if Revelated. We'll go through the King's Castle, and maybe I'll attempt to fight Jevil. I mean, I will attempt. It's a matter of whether I win or not. And honestly, it may take me a while. If I try. I may be stuck there for hours. But until then, stay safe, y'all. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you again. Good night!